Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Toxicology reports on Patrick Lyoya show his blood alcohol level was more than 3 times the legal limit the morning he was shot and killed by Grand Rapids police. We're glad you're with us for Local 4 News at 11. Those toxicology results coming in after the original autopsy, which confirmed the 26-year-old died from a gunshot wound to the head.
It's part of the information state police are collecting to help a prosecutor decide on possible charges against Officer Christopher Schur. Let's get right to Mara McDonald. She's live downtown tonight with the latest on this story. Mara?
Hi, Kimberly, and it's part of the information that the Kent County prosecutor has been waiting on before making any sort of a charging decision here. Let me show you. The confrontation between Patrick Lyoya and Officer Christopher Schur happened around 8 a.m. on April 4th. Toxicology results show Lyoya had blood alcohol of 0.29. The legal limit in Michigan is 0.08. You are considered super drunk under the law at 0.17. The toxicology report didn't find any illegal drugs in his system or marijuana. Lyoya had previous drunk driving convictions as well as other run-ins with law enforcement for domestic violence. It's why retired Detroit Assistant Chief Steve Dolan wants to know if it was more than an improper plate that had the officer pulling Lyoya over.
What drew his attention to that car to say, hey, something ain't right? Do I know the driver? Do I know the passenger? What's going on? People keep saying, well, you can't pull someone over in proper plate. Well, you can.
In addition, officers on scene that day believe the other man in the car with Lyoya was either drunk or high. Attorneys for Lyoya's family maintain the reason he was pulled over is not the issue and are calling on the Kent County prosecutor to criminally charge Officer Schur. Back here live, the Michigan State Police has turned over a preliminary investigatory report to the Kent County prosecutor. But that report is missing several things. For example, forensics on the body cam, on the taser, among other items. And the prosecutor has said, while he will review what he's gotten so far, he's not in any position to be making any charging decisions until he sees it all. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Okay, Mara, thank you.
Storm Tracker 4 showing the final rain threat of Mother's Day weekend moving on past southeast Michigan.
Right, and Paul's got a pretty nice forecast for the mothers out there, Paul.
Absolutely. Now, what we have out there right now is just very splotchy and very, very light. You can see just little patches of light rain. So let's take a look here. Let's actually zoom in here. Let's see. All right, let's zoom in right there, and you can see we're talking downriver areas here, you know, Taylor over to E-Course, up toward the south side of Detroit here, just north of Rockwood. And then if you kind of pull the map here, you can see we still have a few scattered little patches of light rain. This is not big deal stuff, and we'll just widen it out a little bit because what I want to do is put this thing into motion and show you what's happening, because this stuff is coming in from the east because we have low pressure to the south, so this stuff's coming in from the east, but also notice becoming much more sparse as it gets into drier air over the state. All right, right now 56 in Detroit, Ann Arbor, Adrian, 50 right now in Port Huron, and boy, I tell you, you just can't ask for better. Well, you could ask for better. It doesn't get you anywhere. But anyhow, lots of sunshine. Low 60s both days. Breezier on Saturday than Sunday. You'll notice the breeze tomorrow, but a little bit less of that wind on Sunday. And then after that, you're really going to be smiling. It's off to the races temperature-wise. We'll have that for you in just a few, guys.
Off to the races on Derby weekend. All right, Paul. New at 11, a man is killed in a gas station shooting on Detroit's west side. Happened just a couple of hours ago at this Citgo on Wyoming and Joy. Police say a fight broke out and a 48-year-old man was shot and killed by another man. It's a 20-year-old suspect in the case who took off but was later arrested at a home on Manor Street.
Our ceasefire team special operations unit received some information from a citizen which led us to this area over here, and we were able to take the suspect into custody.
Police say after the investigation, they will submit a warrant to the prosecutor's office for charges. Also tonight, Detroit police looking for the shooter who killed a 50-year-old. Tony Wyndham is his name. That shooter also injured a 20-year-old man. A black Chrysler 300 pulled up, opened fire on the two men while they were walking near Lance and Albany this afternoon on the city's east side. Police believe they have video of the shooter's car, though, and a possible license plate tip. We'll keep you posted on the investigation.
Tonight, 2 local cases are part of a CDC investigation into the growing number of mysterious hepatitis cases in children. 5 children have died. The agency is now investigating 109 cases in some 24 states. One is in Detroit, one is in Oakland County. Nationally, some cases date back to October of last year. 8 of those children required a liver transplant. All were previously healthy without any underlying conditions.
For 7.5 years, Erica Hamill's been trying to get a law passed to give parents and guardians the information she did not have back in 2013. That's when her son Wyatt suffered permanent brain damage at the hands of his father's girlfriend, who had been convicted of child abuse before. Well, now Wyatt's law is law. Megan Wood spoke with Wyatt's mother tonight. She joins us now with more on this. A lot of people believe, Megan, this can be a game changer for keeping kids safer.
Yes, a big game changer. So Wyatt's mother originally wanted to create this whole new database, but what ended up happening, the laws that were signed will make a state registry that was once limited and had limited access now open to the community, and it's all because of Wyatt.
He has no idea the impact that he's made.
Wyatt is now a 3rd grader with permanent brain damage, but one thing he knows for certain.
Is that your law?
Yeah. And he can tell you the exact day it passed.
April 20th.
For the last 7 years, Wyatt's mom, Erica, has visited the state capitol more than 100 times to make it happen. And Wyatt was right by her side.
The bills would die, would reintroduce. I think they finally were like, you know, this woman's not going away.
Wyatt's law was born out of Erica's frustration. She believes knowing her ex-husband's girlfriend had a history of child abuse would have changed everything.
I actually went to MDHHS and asked them about Rachel Edwards, who was Wyatt's abuser, and they told me we cannot give you any information. We're not allowed to give it out.
Michigan's Department of Health and Human Services has a database of people who abused or neglected a child that could be a future risk. Only certain employers and state officials could access it, but after Thursday, now the public can too.
She only went to prison 5 years for almost killing Wyatt, and who has permanent brain damage. And you know, if we can't keep these people behind bars, then we as parents and grandparents, guardians should be able to find this information and keep them away from them.
That registry is under review right now, but if you need to access that information, Erica says that you can contact the state's Department of Health and Human Services for that information. You can email them or call them. This database will have all the people who were convicted of child abuse crimes. So if you want more information, we'll have that on clickondetroit.com. Devin, Kimberly, back to you.
We'll follow it as it gets up and running. All right, Megan.
State Rep Mary Kavanaugh is going to avoid jail time in her 2nd DUI case. Today she appeared before a judge for sentencing. Kavanaugh was pulled over back in February, you may remember, in Livonia with 2 flat tires, and pleaded guilty to drunk driving last month. Instead of jail time, she will enter a rigorous 24-month program to maintain her sobriety. It includes drug and alcohol testing, and she'll be required to attend a 12-step program every day for about 90 days.
I am looking forward to using this to become a better person, and I am seeing that there is another life, and it's sober life.
Kavanaugh's attorney says she has no plans to resign and plans to move on from this incident.
United Auto Workers Union is kicking off the 2022 election endorsement season with a resounding push for incumbent Democrats. UAW says it supports Governor Whitmer for re-election because they feel she brought new auto jobs to the state, kept Michiganders safe during the pandemic, and they note that they believe she has fixed the roads. The union also supports Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, Attorney General Dana Nessel, and Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, the full slate of Democrats. The UAW says the endorsement process involves rank-and-file members reviewing candidate records.
A key discovery in the search for that escaped inmate from Alabama and the corrections officer who went missing at the same time.
Also, a sailboat violently tossed about by rough waters. You'll see what the captain was forced to do as Coast Guard rescuers arrived.
And former President Trump trying to get his Twitter privileges restored. A judge has made a decision on the lawsuit claiming his free speech rights were violated. We'll have that next.